Michigan. The new B1039 is WBZX Big Rapids. The 80s and more. B1039.
Morning sun lights the day, and bright on the way. Stories of small town life. Sports and joy cut like a knife. Hot stove league and full chat. High school dreams and college stats. Wednesday morning tales unfold. Memories and news retold. Tune in B1039. Curry's voice in life's sweet line. Sheriff Miller by his side. Lively bluegrass. Heart Supply.
Brought to you by Big Rapids Tire, Zott's Bar and Grill, Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing, and by M&M Collision Center.
Wow, what a great group of guys that are supporting us this morning. Again, hey, Bob, not one's pulled out yet, eh? M&M Collision, great body shop. M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing, Matt Martinson there. Great group of guys up there. And who, how, and where can we forget anybody like Zott's Bar and Grill, huh?
You can't.
Right, Brian? Good morning, Brian.
Morning.
And then one more, Andrew at Big Rapids Tire. I'll tell you what, you come in from the north end of town, if you're looking for tires, you got to stop to see Andrew at Big Rapids Tire. He's got a new face on that place. It looks beautiful. Well, we started a little early this morning, Bob. That's great. Does that mean I can play my favorite song?
Well, we're streaming on YouTube.
Oh, first of all, I want to thank the good Lord for letting me get up this morning with health, and I can breathe, and my body functions are all working well. So thank you, God, up there in heaven. I can't wait to see you, but I appreciate everything you've done for us all on here in Big Rapids. This morning we got Kurt Wessendorf, the famous lacrosse coach at Fair State University. It's a new sport we just started. Oh, wait a minute, I got the wrong college.
You have the right college, wrong
coach.
sport.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Basketball coach.
Oh, basketball. Okay. I just like to tease a little bit. You know, I just want everybody to know we don't have lacrosse. I was just being facetious. I like that word. Barney on Andy Griffith taught me that word. But anyway, yeah. You got a great year last year, Kurt. We're going to call Scott. I know I'm jumping across the lines here a little bit, but we got Reed City Coach coming up about 9:05, so we got some time here. Talk about your program up at Ferris, which you've done a great job. You took it over. It was a decent program, but wow, you really have done pretty well. The problem is, though, well, it's not really a problem. I mean, if you ask Tony Anise what's wrong with winning and expect to win all the time, I mean, he just keeps on winning. But it is tough to stay up that height of the program. Fair State in all sports right now are doing very well. Good morning, Kurt.
Good morning. Glad it's basketball season.
Yeah.
I know we're still talking about football a little bit, but for me, as soon as that starts to get that frost on the grass, you kind of know it's basketball time.
Yeah. What did you do this summer?
Oh, this summer, it's a lot of family time for us. It's family time and recruiting. Like, it's those two things.
Your wife and children?
Yep. So my wife is a high school teacher up at Everett High School.
Okay.
And I got two kids, Cameron and Casey, are 6 and 4. So as you can imagine, that's a very busy age.
Yeah.
So not quite doing a lot of organized sports yet, but just trying to take them out, see the state, try to go around up to the UP a couple times when we can.
Where'd you go?
So my family likes to go up to Gulliver Lake. It's a little place kind of near Manistee.
Yeah.
So right along US 2. So we
Been there.
So we like to spend our 4th of Julys kind of up there, get the kids out, and just kind of see them exploring new things, getting on the tube a little bit at that age. You can't go that fast. They're 6 and 4. But trying to get them out, just experiencing the whole state and just seeing different things. And then the month of July is a lot of recruiting time for us. I hit the road. We go all the way down to Louisville a couple times, Cincinnati a couple times, Chicago. I've been all the way down to South Carolina here and there. So you're on the road a lot trying to find players for the future years. But when you're not out recruiting, you're trying to find that, that work-life balance. It's not a lot of, logging 9 to 5s in the office. We're working on preparing for the next season, but you want to have that balance, because once we hit this time of the year, I tell my wife, I'll see you Saturday, I'll see you Sunday. I take care of the kids in the morning, and then once we're into practices in the late afternoons, early evenings, I get a little bit of time with her when I get home, see the kids a little bit, and then it's a lot of basketball.
Well, now recruiting, when it comes to that football, they have a lot of recruiters. They have a lot of coaches. So those guys all participate doing that. And basketball, how many recruiters do you have?
So on our staff, there's myself, there's Mallory McCartney, my full-time assistant, and Scott Carlson is also another assistant coach with us, and he's from Kent City. So during the summertime, like the three of us will typically be out and going all over the place. You know, Scott sometimes can travel with us, sometimes he can't. But Mallory and I, we tend to just kind of tag team it. You know, we hit the road and we're making a lot of our evaluations.
What do you look
football?
for?
So football, they're going out and it's a lot of the size, strength. They're looking at some of the metrics and they're going to all the different high schools. You know, we're going to a lot of these club tournament games where we're sitting in the gym at the 8 a.m. game, and then we pretty much don't leave the gym until, you know, the 9 o'clock p.m. game, and you hope the event has really good hospitality. So you don't have to leave and go get fast food real quick. So you're watching a ton of these games. You're evaluating kids, the seniors, you know, the juniors, the sophomores, and even a little bit of times you're watching the freshmen as well. Just you're getting a good feel for who's coming up in the pipeline, you know, across the entire Midwest, but particularly the Michigan kids.
Like, all right, so when you go to where the record's at. Let's say a team's got a 20-0 record. Do you go to that school more than you would a team that's 0-20?
Well, in the summertime, they're mainly with their club programs. Like in the club programs.
So there's no high school.
So the high school season, we try to go and see teams during the wintertime, but those are a lot of times kids that we already know about.
Okay.
So, but typically, you know, you're trying to get kids that are used to winning. Like you just talked about, trying to find those winning programs, and that's where, you know, we have two kids on our team from Rockford, you know, high school. They're used to winning. They've won state championships, or they won one state championship when Grace Lyons was there, and they were, I think, runner-ups when Elle Irwin was there, and those are two players on our squad. You know, this year we have our three freshmen. You know, one's from Ann Arbor, Gabrielle Richard. You know, they played for a state title her junior year. You know, another player from Sheridan, Indiana, which is a small school in Indiana, but they made it all the way to their Final Four. And then Milena is from Muskego, Wisconsin, and she played for a state championship this past year in the biggest class in Wisconsin. So you're trying to find those kids that, you know, they're used to winning, playing on winning programs. There's not too many kids that are, you know, playing at our level. They're playing for a high school that only, you know, they go like 5 and 15.
Wow.
So trying to find these club programs that we have good relationships with these club coaches, you know, and you're just kind of chasing them all around, and it's kind of the wild west, because they're all shoe companies that sponsor teams,
right?
Like the men's basketball side, where it's like it doesn't stay the same one year to the next. It's always changing because everyone's chasing the money on the travel ball scene, and we're just trying to find the good players. So we're looking for those gyms where the best players are.
What do you do that other teams can't do? And I guess like Tony, if a kid wants to be on a championship team, they're going to come to Ferris.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he's got it. He's worked for it, but now he's at that plateau that the kids want to play for him. But he still goes out and has to recruit him and show him the town. You sound like you got some pretty good recruits there.
Mm-hmm. We got some nice players on our
What did you do differently than like Grand Valley did, where Grand Valley's got everything in the world down there? And I'm not saying Big Rapids doesn't have a lot to offer, but let's face it, we aren't the towns like Saginaw is, or you know, the bigger cities, you know, and the glamour and stuff after basketball. We have a great education up there, optometry school and the pharmacy school. I mean, you get some of those students probably that want to go in those fields, right?
We have one of our incoming freshmen, Milena from Wisconsin, is going into pharmacy.
Okay.
And Mia Riley, who's currently on our team as a senior, she's in her 4th year of basketball, but she's in her 1st year of optometry school.
Wow.
So she's taken
That's a lot.
So she's taken doctoral level classes all this year, and then she's also playing basketball. So yes, the academics play a big part of it, and we're going after a lot of the same kids that Grand Valley's going after. You know, I can say one of the difference on the women's side, you know, it comes down to a lot more of the relationships. You know, they're looking for, you know, a team where when they take their visit, they really feel like they fit in with that team shares their values. You know, I don't think that's as big of a factor sometimes when men are choosing their schools. Some of those factors that you mentioned, you know, being in a big city, like having a lot of the little, like the glitz and glam, those things, you know, they might be a little more important to the guys than it is for the girls, you know. So you're trying to find that right fit, you know, find that right kid that wants to be in like you said, a winning program, and winning does sell. Like, we're only able to get like these kids that have opportunities to go play Division I if you're a winning program. If you're going 5 and 25 every year, you know, you're not going after those same level kids that we're going after. We're going after kids that could play Division I basketball, you know, but they're making the choice of for either academic reasons or fit reasons or looking for opportunities to play early reasons. And those are the things that kind of come into play for us. And we're recruiting much fewer players also than football or maybe even some other basketball programs. You know, we keep our recruiting circle very, very small because we're trying to bring in only about 3 kids a year. You know, sometimes 4. You know, if we ever get to 5 freshmen, that's a big class for us because we're only going to be carrying around 14 or 15 players on our roster. So we can be really specific on kind of who we're focused on.
Pool. Is there a big pool of basketball players in the state of Michigan, girls?
There is a very big pool. Michigan's got some really good women's basketball programs, you know, from just the high school teams, the club teams, you know, and we've been lucky that we've been one of the most successful college programs out there. You know, Michigan State's been doing very well. Michigan's been doing very well. You know, us and Grand Valley at the D2 level have kind of been the two that have done probably the best over the last 5 years. You know, but even good Division III basketball, you know, with Calvin, we had a scrimmage with them last night. They're a top 25 team. Hope is always a very good team. So there's a lot of really good basketball programs in the state of Michigan, and most are with Michigan rosters, Michigan kids on the roster. And we have, again, most of our kids are from Michigan.
Yeah, now, like Division I to Division II in football, you take a program like Michigan and play Ferris. I'm not so sure Ferris couldn't stay with them, maybe even beat. I don't know that, but it used to be a big difference between Division I and Division II in football. Is there a big difference in basketball, girls basketball, from Division I and Division II?
Well,
do you ever scrimmage Division I?
We do. So we've already had one scrimmage against a mid-major, and then tomorrow we're playing Michigan. So we're going to go to Ann Arbor. We're taking on the Wolverines tomorrow. Where you kind of see a lot of the big differences is even within Division I. Like the difference between a Michigan and a Oakland. Like, it's a vast difference. You know, you see the box scores of those games, and they're usually, you know, 105 to 45. Like, and there's Division I against Division I. Whereas if we go and play a school like one of those Horizon League teams, Oakland, Detroit, or the MAC type teams, I think we're a lot closer aligned with those programs. Like, there's not as big of a score gap if we were to go play, not that much of a difference. But when you step up to the Power 4 level, like, that's where it gets like a little bit
basketball.
different. Yeah, that's the
major women's.
Yeah, those power teams, like, that's where you're getting some kids that can really make a difference. So, you know, it's a hypothetical. You just said if Tony was to go play Michigan, but it's not a hypothetical for us. Right. Thankfully, basketball is one of those sports where you can get some of these matchups. You know, football, they don't happen, but basketball is unique that we like to try to play these exhibition games before our regular season starts. Mm-hmm. And schools like Michigan State just played Michigan Tech, you know, and that game was a great learning experience for Michigan Tech, great learning experience for Michigan State. And then we get the Wolverines tomorrow. So it'll be great for us because we're going to play a really difficult non-conference schedule. So we want to be trying to test ourselves where we have to be really on our details. You know, we have to be playing super hard, like, to make sure that we're getting things right because we're stepping up a big level of athleticism. So it's a lot of size, a lot of strength, a lot of speed. That's the major differences when you're getting to that major college level.
Well, I'm gonna touch back on that subject when we come back. But we're going to call Scott Schenkel. I know, I love it. But I do have some questions for you, so I don't forget the question. One is, what do you say to a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade little girl? Do you tell her, and you answer this later, you got Scott on right now?
I will.
All right, go ahead and call Scott. But my question is going to be, why is there such a separation? And is it because these girls at a lower grade are playing basketball 24/7? Like, you know, you hear some sports, all my kid does is play hockey, and therefore he's going to be a hockey player someday in college or whatever. But how important is a one-sport program to 3? I'll come right back with you with that question. The reason I said it is because morning, Scott.
Morning. How you doing, Pat?
Well, give us an update up there in Coyote country that we love, second to Big Rapids. I love it.
Well, hoping to change that second to Big Rapids.
There you go. I love it. Yeah. No, you had a game last Friday. Was that Standish?
Standish Sterling. Yeah.
I follow you, Scott. I do follow you. So tell us about that game and what you got coming up is postseason, right?
Correct. We beat Standish 52-15. Again, we had a great performance from our kids. Defensively came out, shut them down right away, and then kind of scored at will with whatever we wanted to do. I think our first four plays, we had 3 touchdowns. So
they're normally tougher than that. Well, are you guys that good right now? You guys are really, really tough right now, aren't you?
Yeah, we're playing really good.
Yeah.
They graduated a lot of guys last year,
Okay. All right.
they didn't have a big junior class, so I think they only had 3 juniors playing. So they were kind of young, and I don't like using the word rebuilding year, but when you graduate 18 kids, there's a lot of change that happens, especially at that level. JV to varsity is a whole different world. So
yeah, it is. We were just talking about that about basketball, and we're going to get back to that in a little bit. All right, so you probably don't want to talk about that game too much because you had a lot of stars that night that shined, eh? Anybody step up that you saw that you didn't see before?
It's hard to go back and remember. And
sure.
All the kids played really well on both sides of the ball. The backup kids came in, did a great job too of playing also. So I'm just happy with how we finished the season. And our schedule's been tough the last 2 years, and to come out being with 14 wins and 4 losses is pretty good in the last 2 years. So I'm just proud of our kids.
Yeah, you're doing a lot better than Brian Kelly. But anyway, that being said, how many juniors do you have coming back then to be seniors next? How many of you guys are going to lose?
I'm going to lose 14, so I'm going to be losing quite a bit this year too. But we'll have some kids coming back and some sophomores coming up that we'll get them ready to go.
JV team, what was their record this year?
They ended up 3-5-1, I believe, winning I think 3 out of their last 4 games. So they did well towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
So we got a good 8th grade class coming up. So, but that's next year. I'm worried about the second season now. So.
All right. Friday night, what's going on then?
We got Sanford Meridian coming up, first round playoffs, district semifinals here. Just excited to be hosting. With all the predictions that were out there, they didn't have us hosting a game, and we're fortunate enough that the draw we got to be able to host. So we're excited about being able to play at home, and have another chance to make a run.
Yeah, you never want to look too far ahead, but you guys actually got a pretty good draw. I think it's playoffs; anybody can play anybody, and it'll be competitive. But you very easily could have a couple of home games to begin with, and I think that bodes well for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking right at Sanford Meridian right now, because you don't beat them, it doesn't matter.
Well, how good are they?
They're a 6-3 team that's got some skills and some big guys. So we're gonna have to come ready to play, and we're gonna have to execute at a high level. So we don't, every opponent at this point in time is going to be good. I mean, it's playoffs.
It's a coin flip. I mean, really, it doesn't matter what the records are. You throw the records out, and it doesn't matter, what percentage people are saying that, one team or the other will win. I think it's a coin flip, and on any given night, really.
What kind of offense they play then? They passing team, running?
They're a little bit more of a spread team. That spread teams like to run the ball just as much as they throw it. They just like to spread you out quite a bit, kind of get one-on-one situations. So they're a spread team, and they'll throw it around a little bit too.
Wow.
But yeah, as far as the coin flip, I mean, it doesn't matter what the records are and who you played and level of competition. It only matters on Friday night who plays better and who executes.
You guys, I think looking forward, I think maybe calling for a little rain this weekend. Does that play into that spread at all? Or, I mean, it really doesn't affect you guys much with the offense that you guys run.
I mean, it affects people in different ways, just with the exchange and footing and everything. So, it's not like it's just raining on them. So,
right.
But at the same time, I mean, it's probably a little bit more with the, throw and catch type stuff. So, compared to the turnaround and hand it off, but you still got to secure the ball.
Yep. Well, thanks a lot, Mike. Good luck, Scott. Oh, you know why I said Mike? Because I'm getting old and I just got a text from Mike. So
Okay.
I was talking to Mike, too, because I know he's listening, Mike Seltzer. We'll be talking to him in about 10, 15 minutes or whatever. But anyway, we really appreciate you taking our call. We appreciate the update on Coyotes. I would just like to congratulate you on a great season and continued success. And I also want to put a plug in for the Bucks up north, Pine River. I don't know the coach, but they've had a pretty good year. Do you follow them at all? Your neighbor up there?
Not really, but I've seen that they're in the playoffs with a 6-3 record. I think they got Shelby. Is that who they got?
I believe so. Yeah.
And
So
then
that Shelby,
Oh, yeah, they beat us.
Phil Fortier.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
is he still coaching?
Yep.
Yeah, good for him. Yeah. Well, they have a pretty good year, and they got a lot of pride up here in Buck Country, I know. And I know Cody Wyman, he's a great friend of mine, young man, very patriotic, great coach. He's very passionate about the game of football. He played at Reed City. You remember Cody?
Oh, yeah, I coach Cody.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you're getting old, Scott. But anyway, you're showing your age.
Yes,
I'm getting real old. But anyway, it's kind of nice to get old because that means the good Lord doesn't want you up there yet. But anyway, Pine River, I'm pretty excited for them up there. I probably should have called them a little bit and asked them how things are going because I know they're in our listening area. But I'm very proud to say that we have a great group of people playing football up all the way from Tri-County all the way up to Pine River. And, well, we can almost say Cadillac. But anyway, good luck to you. And
Scott, good luck Friday.
Yeah, we'll
I
talk to
appreciate
you
it,
next
guys.
week.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, bye.
All right. Well, Bob,
Take a break.
we're back to Kurt right after this.
Yeah, let's take a quick
sponsor
break. We'll be
You
right
bet.
back.
You bet.
Curry's Hot Stove League.
Cook that curry.
Hey, I want to tell you something. Their sandwiches are incredible. But get the cheeseburger with caramelized onions. You won't ask where the beef is.
This is Alec Gary of Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes in Big Rapids and Barrington. I believe what sets Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes apart from everyone else is our commitment to service excellence. When a family calls, we are there before, during, and after the funeral experience. I want you to be able to trust calling us. We're here to guidance and counsel each and every single family to each and every single need. And we just feel like the commitment to families, especially ones that put their care and trust in us, we are going to go above and beyond to do anything we can to help a family during their time of loss. This is Alec Gary, a legacy of service, a promise of care with Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, located in Big Rapids and in Barrington.
When was the last time you checked your tires? At Big Rapids Tire, they know how important it is to keep your ride smooth, safe, and reliable. Whether you're cruising down the highway or navigating tough weather, a fresh set of tires ensures you're ready for anything. Their expert team will help you find the perfect tires for your car and get you back on the road with confidence. Brakes, alignments, struts, and shocks, they do those as well. Don't wait for a blowout, or worse, visit Big Rapids Tire for unbeatable prices, quality, and peace of mind. Big Rapids Tire, Northland Drive, just north of town.
Hi, this is Pat Curry. We're right here with Brian Miller at 1039. We talk about what's happening with sports in Big Rapids. Well, we got a new sponsor. None other than the Great Body Shop right on Maple Street, east of the bridge in Big Rapids, Michigan. It's called M&M Collision Center. They're celebrating 30 years of trusted, top-quality auto body repair and remains the name you can trust. Whether you have a major collision repair or a minor fender bender, our award-winning team has you covered with free loaners and vehicle detailing with every repair. They work with all insurance companies and treat every vehicle like it's one of their own. From auto body repairs to supporting local community organizations, giving back to the community is part of who they are. Come and see Matt and Devin and Trish and Justin. Just a great group of people there. Come and see why Big Rapids trust M&M Collision Center of Big Rapids, where quality and community come together.
Come say cheers at Zott's Bar and Grill in Big Rapids. Great food, great prices, and great people, where everybody knows your name. Zott's, people's choice for best soup. You don't want to miss their award-winning burgers and chili as well. Originally opened in 1933 and serving it up ever since. Seasonal beers on tap. Located at 732 North State Street in Big Rapids. Roxanne and Doug at Zott's Bar and Grill are proud sponsors of the Signature Player of the Week for the Curries Hot Stove League every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m.
The seasons are changing, and it's inevitable. Snow is coming. It's just a matter of time. Well, wouldn't you like to have the peace of mind knowing that your driveway and walks will be taken care of? M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing wants to give you that peace of mind. No matter how long or short that your driveway is, M&M can take care of it. If you just want snow plowing and walk shoveling, or if you'd like the full treatment with salt put down, they can do that as well. If you're a business owner or landlord and you need priority plowing before your business opens, M&M can do it. If you're getting up in years and dread having to wrestle that snow blower out again, M&M will be happy to help. Remember, customers on the plow list will get first priority when the snow comes. All it takes is a phone call to M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing, 231-796-4956. When winter rears its ugly head, take comfort that M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing will be there to serve you.
All right. Get back.
All right, Bob, we're back, right?
Get back.
Kurt Westendorf, the famous, well, we're going to call you famous this morning anyway, basketball coach for the ladies of the Dogland up there at Fair State, and along with Sheriff Miller. And Bob Aldrich on 103.9. How's that, Bob? Introductory good?
Very good.
Good. Kurt, so anyway, we talked a little bit about recruiting. We talked about, your 2 children. Did we say that on live?
Yep.
Yeah. And then my question to you is, coming from the audience, I had somebody text me this question. My daughter's a pretty good basketball player in 6th grade. Should she continue playing only basketball and no other sport to reach that pinnacle of playing at Ferris State someday, or should she play multiple sports? And the other thing is, what qualities do you look into a girl when you go to that gym? Do you look for speed, agility, points scored, defense, or mainly offense? What do you look for?
Or all of them.
But
I'll answer the first question.
Thank you. Go.
I am a big proponent of play whatever sport you love to play. Like, I'd say most of the girls on my team played multiple sports, even in high school. You know, sometimes when you get to like that last summer, that's where you kind of have to decide is like where you need to like more focus your time in the summers. But I think it's really awesome that, especially if you're going to a small town school, that like you play multiple sports, because you're probably one of the best athletes in the school. And one of the reasons why, and some people don't really realize this, is like if you are just if God gifted you in basketball, like, and you just also love volleyball, you might not be as gifted in volleyball. So you have to learn how to be a role player in that sport. Like, so you might be the basketball star, but like you might be a role player on the volleyball team. So like when I was playing high school basketball, you know, I was really good at basketball, but some of my teammates were really good at football, and they were role players on my basketball team, like with me, and they were great rebounders, great defenders. And when you go to college, you kind of you aren't the star anymore. You know, everybody's the star, and you have to learn as a freshman, you know, how do you fit into a team? How do you fill certain roles? So it can be a big benefit to train and play multiple sports, where sometimes you're the top dog, and sometimes it's like, no, my team just needs me to rebound. Because when you get to college, your team might just need you to rebound as a freshman, and then you develop into a player that might be counted on a little bit more. I also think it's great that you just compete year round.
Right.
Like, so if you're taking time off and you are just training, and there are great trainers out there that can help get your skills really going, but nothing beats, you know, you trying to win a game against someone else, no matter what that game is. You know, whether you're playing, you know, a board game at home and you really want to win, try to find a way to win. You know, you're playing soccer, you're playing volleyball, you're playing softball. It's like you're trying to find ways to win those games. And the kids that just really hate to lose, you know, those are the ones that are the most driven. Those are the ones that you'll see out in the driveway putting in the extra time. You know, those are the ones getting to the gym a little extra because they just hate to lose, and they're going to do whatever it takes to get themselves, you know, in a position to win when it comes to then their favorite sport, the sport that they're probably the most talented at. You know, so I really encourage people to play as many sports as you love to play. You know, if you don't love to play it, don't play it. If you only love to play one sport, then it's okay for you. You know, not everybody has to be exactly the same. If you just love basketball, and I just don't really care that much about volleyball or track or golf or tennis, and then just stick with basketball. And that path is great for you. But if you love to play those other sports, you need to be able to play them, especially during the school year, you know, because you're doing it for your town, you're doing it for your classmates, you're doing it for your school. And then in the summertime, you might be a little more focused, you know, on where you want to spend your time, because that's when, like I said, the recruiting mainly is happening in the off seasons for all the sports, because that's when the coaches have the most free time to go watch you play. Because right now it's hard for me to get to a lot of high school games because I'm so focused on my team. But in the summertime, that's when the bulk of our evaluating and recruiting is happening. So do the sports that you love. Like, because I do believe there's benefits in playing a lot of the different sports, because we like seeing those kids really compete and learn how to win, because there's more to winning, you know, at the college level than just, are you really good at your sport? You know, there's the leadership aspects, you know, there's the refusing to lose, like all those things really come into play.
I watched this one girl from Big Rapids here, won't mention her name because she's a great lady. She couldn't miss. She shot, she made. She was very good in high school, Big Rapids. She played during the summer, shot 2,000 free throws in the summer, and went to all these competitions and this and that. Got to college level and really wasn't recruited by Division II, but played, I don't know, I'm not even going to say it was Division III, whatever. But my whole question here is, she really was a shooter, absolutely the best, one of the finest in the area, but didn't make it to that next level. I often wondered if because of her defense that she couldn't play defense because all she did was shoot. How important is shooting compared to defense, and what qualities do you look? Do you look for a really good defensive player and say, I can make her a shooter? Or do you look at a shooter and say, I can make her a defensive player?
Well, all around athleticism matters. Like, basketball is a very agile, athletic sport where bigger, faster, stronger does give you a big advantage, and much in the same way of football. And like, that's one of the biggest differences to the game we're going to play tomorrow night against Michigan is the bigger, faster, stronger. And God just gifted some of those girls that they're 6'5", you know, or they can run like the wind, or they can really rebound the basketball. Because every conference, it takes a certain level of athlete to be able to be successful on the basketball court. So the skill coupled with the athleticism, every coach kind of has to blend it, you know, because you can't just have a bunch of kids that are track stars, but they have zero skill. You're not going to win. And you also can't have kids that are maybe a little on the slower side, maybe a little bit on the shorter side, but they can shoot like crazy, because those big defenders, well, they're guarding you now and you can't get that shot off. So that there is that balance to it. So we're trying to find the athletes that we know can compete in our conference.
Yeah.
And then we can teach some of the skill, but then you got to try to meld and find, you know, what are some of the things that they have that, you know, we need that the next level might not think that kind of fits what they like. So they might not be athletic enough to play in the Big Ten, you know, but they're athletic to play enough in the GLIAC, and they're just as skilled as some of the kids in the Big Ten. They're just not quite the athlete, and it kind of goes up and down the levels. And that's one of the harder things for high school kids and in recruiting, is we just always play the comparison game of like, oh, well, why is that kid going there? Like, I'm better than she is, or because different schools are looking for different things,
right.
You know, and then every single year, like I talked about before, we're bringing in 3 or 4 kids a year, and sometimes our needs, you know, aren't the position or the skill set that, you know, certain players have. And it's very tricky, and it can be frustrating at times, you know, for kids that think that they should be going somewhere else, or, you know, that they just kind of get down on themselves because like, oh, I feel like I should be here. And just run your own race, you know, just keep putting in your work, and know that, you know, the right coaches will find you.
Do you end up cutting anybody?
What's that?
Do you have walk-ons on? Do you have some walk-ons that you play? And the other thing is, do you have to cut some?
We have had some preferred walk-ons, so players that we still recruited them, but they might have come on 0 scholarship dollars.
Right.
You know, because, you know, just much like football, we're slicing and dicing our scholarship money up and trying to put the best roster we can, you know, with the scholarship money that the school gives us. So most of players that have walked onto the team are players that we've seen, and we've invited them to still be on the team. So they're still recruited players, you know, and then during their time, you know, on our roster, if they end up breaking our rotation and they're in and they're contributing, we'll try to find them scholarship dollars, because we want to reward that. And I've not been in the position where I've had to cut anybody off of our squad. You know, once you're a part of our squad and you're doing all the things that you need to be doing to help us be successful, and that's not just on the court, but that's also off the court. Like, if they're a really, really good teammate and they're contributing, we try to value those things and hopefully speak that to our kids every single day of like, hey, you might not be playing right now, but what you're doing is very, very important. Like, the way that you embody our values is very, very important. You know, it only takes 1 or 2 bad seeds, and, you know, then you might have to have a situation where you got to cut a kid. I just haven't had a situation where we've had to do those things, because most of our players have done most of the right things. You know, I'm not saying that they're perfect. You know, we do have, you know, some discipline that we have to impose on them, but they learn real quick, and they're growing from teenagers to young women, and, you know, they're developing and growing, and I just think they do a pretty good overall good job.
All right, one more question, then we're going to go to Mike Seltzer. And then if you have a question, that's two. We'll go 2 questions. My next question is, you are very successful. Why did you pick women's basketball over men's?
So I played high school basketball for my dad, and at the time when I was in high school, girls basketball was still in the fall, and then boys basketball was in the winter. So my dad coached both. So I grew up in the gym, and it was always like, oh, it's girls basketball season, there's boys basketball season. I was not, blessed athletically to go earn a basketball scholarship, but I went to Valparaiso University, at the time where Homer Drew was the coach there. Bryce had just gotten done a few years before as a player. So I chose that as the school that I wanted to go to, and my dad knew the coaches there, so I just went straight to the office, and I was a manager from day one. A student manager, rebounding for him at 10 o'clock at night, doing all those things. And as I was in there, the women's team had a scout team of guys. So a team of guys that would practice against the girls every single day. So I started doing both. I was manager for the men's team, and I'd play scout team with the women's team. And so I'd just be at 2 basketball practices a day. We're paying a lot of money for that college education to spend most of my time in the gym. Still graduated, got a good degree, got a good master's degree as well from Valpo. So seeing that from the side of practicing against the girls every day, I really connected with them more than I connected with the guys. So the guys, I was friends with them, but I didn't really connect with them at the same level I connected with the women's players, just to kind of be a mentor for them, a voice for them, help them through, hey, this is what the coaches are looking at. This is what the coaches are seeing, because sometimes they'd be down on themselves. And it's like, no, you're doing great, because I practice against them every day, try to build them up. I was just a lot closer with them. So when I wanted to go into coaching as my profession, I looked at both sides of things, and I really felt like I went and worked camps, a lot of different places. I worked camps at Notre Dame, Stanford, Michigan State, both boys and girls. And I just really felt like I connected and enjoyed, coaching on the women's side more than I enjoyed coaching on the men's side. So that's where I set off to be a college coach. And I got my first chance at Albion College as an assistant. Second chance was here as an assistant at Ferris State, and then had a chance to go back to be a Division I assistant, and then an NAIA head coach, and then back to here. So I've been kind of the full circle all the way around, and landed back in Big Rapids.
How's your wife like it? Loves it?
She really enjoys living here. Her mom lives in Comstock Park, so she's pretty close to family. My family's in Southwest Michigan, pretty close to St. Joe. Yeah, Dowagiac's where I went to high school. They live in Berrien Springs now, so it's all right in that general Southwest Michigan area. So we like the area. We know that we're never going to be leaving, this general Midwest area. We really enjoy our life here.
Yeah, good. Brian, anything, or we're going to go to Mike Seltzer? You got Mike on the phone there? Yeah. In a minute. Brian, anything more?
Oh, I just was going to kind of segue when you talked about what you're looking for. One of my favorite kind of snippets is Gino Ariema.
Yeah, Gino. Everyone just calls him Gino. It's okay.
Gino,
when you're that famous and that good, you go by one name. He can go by just Gino.
When he talks about his bench and how when he's recruiting people, he looks at how they act on the bench and whether they're into the game or not into the game. And he says that, that's as much of a part of what he's recruiting as the skill set sometimes.
You have to be just keyed into all those little things when the margins are so small at that level.
Okay. Hey, Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Coach Mike Seltzer from the Cardinal bench there. You had a big game last weekend. Talk about a little bit. Who'd you beat again?
Elma.
We played Elma last week. Yep.
They're normally a menace to you guys in the past. They would kind of control the game a little bit, but you guys really did a great job Friday night, didn't you?
Yeah, we've been playing them for quite a while now. I think it's 8 years, and it's been kind of a tale of two halves. The first 4 years, they were the team that had controlled, and I think it was 2021 when they won the game on a nice long drive and the last play of the game they punched it in for the win. But that was the last time it was really a close game. After that, they've been going through a few different coaches and they've been rebuilding. The new coach is a good guy. He does some good things, X's and O's, but it looks like that was our last meeting with him. Next year, we'll be looking to fill a new Week 9, and they're looking to revamp their schedule as well. So overall, guys played a really good game.
Who did?
Our guys. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we controlled the line of scrimmage, which was really good. We worked on a few things that kind of gave us trouble the week before against Coopersville, and it's always good to bounce back and rejuvenate a little bit. And so we got a lot of different guys touches. We got a lot of different guys. Some scored some touchdowns. So Jack Bowman scored 2 touchdowns. Check that. Jack scored three touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 passing, receiving touchdown. Freddie Ortiz scored 2 touchdowns for us, and Cole threw a touchdown and rushed a touchdown. And then one of our young guys, 5th quarter guy, Eli Foster, ended up receiving a pass for a touchdown as well. So we got him a little screen, and he took it from about 20 plus yards out. I think it was 28-yard touchdown on a little swing pass from our backfield. So it was good. Defense played well. We had some really good plays by our defensive line as well as our linebackers, and I think it was a good game because their style of offense is very similar to Ludington's, who we see this coming week, and gave us kind of a preview of things that we're going to have to fix and work on to get a win this week.
Well, Eli Foster, going back to him, is he a sophomore?
He is. Yep.
Yeah. So his brother was real good last year for you, and now you got another one. You got to be excited about him, don't you?
Yeah, I think we have a strong sophomore class, and Eli is one of those dudes in there. He has been a 5th quarter kid for us all year. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately, but fortunately for us, we've had some pretty solid rosters. So. In the past, 5 years ago, a kid like Eli would have been up all season long as a sophomore, and this is our first year since I've been the coach that we don't have any sophomores brought up to fill out that roster. We got that pretty experienced group of seniors, and, so those sophomores, pretty much any other year, Eli would be one of those kids who was brought up at the beginning of the year.
I talked to a few of your players this last week, and after Coopersville lost, the morale's up. I think they realized what happened down there, and they put that behind them. That's hats off to you guys, you coaches, to do that. I know it's a head game sometimes. But I talked to Jack Bowman. He's pretty excited about going over. Are you playing here or over there? I can't remember.
We're at Ludington.
That's
yep.
what I thought. Yeah, he's kind of excited. Well, not kind of. He's excited about playing. I think they know what they got to do, and with some great coaching, I think we should be able to win that. What do you see the biggest obstacle of getting a W there?
When we talk about kind of the season, and and I mentioned this last week when we talked, but Coopersville provided a lesson, right? And did we learn from that lesson? And that's what we'll have to see this week. Our focus this week is selflessness, execution, and discipline. And so if we can get those 3 things down this week, we got a real good shot of coming out with a victory. It's going to be some changes for our defensive line with the way that Gunsel, their quarterback, is such an athlete. We can't have our D-line trying to, make sacks 6 yards deep into the backfield, because he'll make a miss, and then with that, he'll have a running lane to exploit. And so, we have to be selfless and stay within the scheme of what we're doing. Our goal is to keep him contained and not let him break contain and give himself a built-in run-pass option. We want, if he's dropping the back to pass, we want him to have to throw the ball. And so are we going to be able to be selfless and not go do, what we want to do, and that's get the big sack and the big hit on him, because more than likely he's going to make us miss. Are we going to go ahead?
He's a multi-talented quarterback, and
but
I think he's
was
going to Ferris, if I'm not mistaken.
Pardon?
I think Ferris has recruited him.
Really?
Yep, he's committed to Ferris, so he'll be playing for Ferris next year. I think he's recruited as a safety / athlete. That
tells you all you need to know.
How big is he?
he's the best player we faced this year, the best pure athlete we faced this year, and he's their number one rusher, and he's been their quarterback for the last 3 years. He had some really good plays against us last year, where we made some of those mental mistakes, and so we got to we got to execute our game plans, and we got to stay focused on what we can control, and we got to limit his opportunities to be creative.
Wow, but we got some really good. I smile every time I think of your team because I know a lot of those guys, and I just want to say, like Dan Langell there, what a great athlete, great young man. He's ready for the challenge. I know Jack is, and Max is, and you got a great group of guys there. I think things go well. I think that we can beat them for sure.
Almost like we said.
Yeah, I think we have a team that can play with any team we will see in Division 4, and so like I said, it's just one of those things where we're at that point where we have to execute. The margin for error now is smaller, and we got to have fun while we do it.
Right.
We can't be out there playing tight,
Right.
When I talked to the guys Friday before our game, it was my message pre-game was, kind of what we're going to do. But then I asked them at one point when you're out on the field in between plays, I want you to take a second and just appreciate where you're at, right? You got a great stadium. You have a great group of teammates to be around. You got a great fan base. When you're out on the field in between plays, I want you to just take a second and look around and look at the stands that are full and look at the atmosphere you get to play in, because you get to play the greatest game ever created. You get to do it with your best friends, and you get to do it with a community that supports you and is in your corner. So, moving forward, that's what we got to be. We got to be a team, and we got to understand that, we got to have fun while we're doing it. Yeah,
you do. You got some great guys, and I can't mention them all, but as I sit here, I think of the Mossel kid. He's going to have a big game. I can just feel it. The Brant boy coming up there, Austin and Baby both. Hopefully Baby gets to touch that ball a little bit. That's just a little 2-second thing for me. But anyway, you got some good athletes, and I think that the dream's going to come true Friday night. I think they'll all work together and have patience and get it done for us. And if they don't, you better look at the little guy in the wheelchair that wishes he was on that field. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So this is life, man, and they're in the spotlight right now Friday night for Big Rapids, representing Big Rapids, and I know they'll represent us well either way. And I'm just so proud of all the boys and the coaches. You got a great staff there. We wish you well. Well, Brian, any questions for Mike?
No, you did pretty well.
That was it, eh? Well, good luck, Mike.
Good luck, Coach.
We'll be talking to you next week, hopefully. God willing. God willing that we're here. All right. Thanks a lot and good luck.
Appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, guys.
You bet. Thank you.
Goodbye.
All right, Kurt, I'm going to give it to you. Well, first of all, I want to thank our sponsors, Bob Aldridge. You're not a sponsor, are you, Bob?
I'm not a sponsor, no.
You should be. Yeah. Take a quick break, Bob, here, and then we'll be right back with Kurt.
Curry's Hot Stove League on B1039.
Hi, this is Pat Curry. We're right here with Brian Miller at 1039. We talk about what's happening with sports in Big Rapids. Well, we got a new sponsor. None other than the Great Body Shop right on Maple Street, east of the bridge in Big Rapids, Michigan. It's called M&M Collision Center. They're celebrating 30 years of trusted, top-quality auto body repair and remains the name you can trust. Whether you have a major collision repair or a minor fender bender, our award-winning team has you covered with free loaners and vehicle detailing with every repair. They work with all insurance companies and treat every vehicle like it's one of their own. From auto body repairs to supporting local community organizations, giving back to the community is part of who they are. Come and see Matt and Devin and Trish and Justin. Just a great group of people there. Come and see why Big Rapids trust M&M Collision Center of Big Rapids, where quality and community come together.
Come say cheers at Zot's Bar and Grill in Big Rapids. Great food, great prices, and great people, where everybody knows your name. Zott's, people's choice for best soup. You don't want to miss their award-winning burgers and chili as well. Originally opened in 1933 and serving it up ever since. Seasonal beers on tap. Located at 732 North State Street in Big Rapids. Roxanne and Doug at Zott's Bar and Grill are proud sponsors of the Signature Player of the Week for the Curries Hot Stove League every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m.
This is Alec Gary of Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes in Big Rapids and Barrington. I believe what sets Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes apart from everyone else is our commitment to service excellence. When a family calls, we are there before, during, and after the funeral experience. I want you to be able to trust calling us. You know, we're here to guidance and counsel each and every single family to each and every single need. And we just feel like the commitment to families, especially ones that put their care and trust in us, we are going to go above and beyond to do anything we can to help a family during their time of loss. This is Alec Gary, a legacy of service, a promise of care, with Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, located in Big Rapids and in Barrington.
When was the last time you checked your tires? At Big Rapids Tire, they know how important it is to keep your ride smooth, safe, and reliable. Whether you're cruising down the highway or navigating tough weather, a fresh set of tires ensures you're ready for anything. Their expert team will help you find the perfect tires for your car and get you back on the road with confidence. Brakes, alignments, struts, and shocks, they do those as well. Don't wait for a blowout, or worse, visit Big Rapids Tire for unbeatable prices, quality, and peace of mind. Big Rapids Tire, Northland Drive, just north of town.
The seasons are changing, and it's inevitable. Snow is coming. It's just a matter of time. Wouldn't you like to have the peace of mind knowing that your driveway and walks will be taken care of? M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing wants to give you that peace of mind. No matter how long or short that your driveway is, M&M can take care of it. If you just want snow plowing and walk shoveling, or if you'd like the full treatment with salt put down, they can do that as well. If you're a business owner or landlord and you need priority plowing before your business opens, M&M can do it. If you're getting up in years and dread having to wrestle that snow blower out again, M&M will be happy to help. Remember, customers on the plow list will get first priority when the snow comes. All it takes is a phone call to M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing, 231-796-4956. When winter rears its ugly head, take comfort that M&M Lawn Care and Snow Plowing will be there to serve you.
All right, Bob, we're back with Kurt Westendorf, the basketball coach at FSU, and Sheriff Miller. I'm going to let Sheriff Miller in here after I'm done wishing Bruce Borkovich a happy birthday. He's your supervisor at Big Rapids Township, doing a great job down there, a real patriot. Happy birthday, Andrea Rose. And then none other than Sandy Goldstein.
Yep. Happy birthday,
Sandy.
Happy birthday, Sandy.
Sandy's got to be.
I'll say it to you in person when I see you in the office here in about an hour.
How old is Sandy? You know, Kurt?
Oh, I don't know. What has he got? Like 37, 38. He's a young strike.
I was going to say 35.
Guy.
Yeah, I'm going to give him the benefit.
He's ready to roll.
Well, I've known him for 20 years, so and I think he was 21 when he started at the Pioneer, pretty close to that. So I'm going to say he's 50. Anyway, I ain't got nothing to lose. I love the guy, too. He's done a great job in Big Rapids. But he has been here a long time.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Does a nice job, yeah. Kayla Zimmerman, Todd Gilbert's baby girl. Well, actually, it's not the baby. She's the oldest one. She's got babies, though. She's been putting babies out for over 10 years now. She's got 4 babies she's put
Charlie's
out.
the oldest.
3 girls, yep. Charlie, yep. And then Clay Callister, he can't hear me, but he's way down south. Bob Maxon, another year older, old Louie's boy. You know Louie. Mm-hmm. Katrina Peterson works for my brother Peter, or not Peter, Philip does. Peter's my other brother, but Philip, Curry's auction house there. Katrina's the one that keeps him going. So that's pretty much it. Anybody else has a birthday, I wish you a very happy birthday and happy anniversary to you folks that have made it over 2 years. That's a pretty good monument after 2 years of being married. Kurt, back to you. What was our question here now? Let's see. I think you answered the one about the little girls playing all sports. The one you didn't answer was, though, do you look for, and I know you said athleticism. I understand that. But do you look for a real person that can really be very good on defense or very good on offense? Answer that question.
Well, as a team, you got to have players that can do both on your team. So there, I'm not trying to wiggle out of your answer. But if you're all one or the other.
Do this. Do you think it's more important
a defensive player can be a better offensive player than an offensive player can be a defensive player. Or, I mean, if you're an offensive shooter, are you apt to be a real good defensive player, or do you think they're both? They're just both.
I think it's a little bit of the both. Brian's giving us the 6'7" thing over there. Like a little bit of both. No one knows what it means.
Well, probably not. I'm off.
I like defense.
Do you?
You got to have players that can defend the basketball, that can rebound the basketball. I think you have to have those abilities, and you can teach shooting a little bit better than you can teach someone to be faster. That's the old adage. If you show someone with great form running to first base and someone with terrible form running to first base, who would you take if they have the same time? Like, give me the person with terrible form because I can teach them to be better. Yeah. I want to make sure that you can teach shooting a little bit better than you can probably teach someone to be faster.
How come though in high school basketball, I'm going to go back a little bit, and I'm going to talk about boys basketball, they'll say, well, he can shoot, but that's all he does. He's not defense. He's slow as hell. He can shoot, but he can't defend. So therefore we get beat. So a shooter will get you beat before a defender will, right?
Well, that's where you got to have the balance on the team.
There you
got to have the balance on the team, because if I have someone shooting, I can hide that player on defense sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes I can hide, but I can't hide 5 of them. I can hide one of them. I can find a matchup where they can guard somebody that might not hurt you as much. And that's the beautiful thing about basketball, is like you have to play both ends of the court. You have to play every inch of the court on both offense and defense. And that's where, I get paid money, is like, how do we put these lineups together? How do you put the matchups together where you can hide a kid sometimes, but you can't hide 5 of them.
How about money? Is that going to affect your program?
Money's always a factor.
I mean, the stealing.
The NIL money, it's creeping in. Unfortunately, it is creeping in now. On the women's basketball side, the big money's in the Power Four, and it hasn't crept all the way down to where it's life changing. When it's players that could be leaving D2 to go D1. It's nice to have in the pocket. Don't get me wrong, but it's not changing their life. It's not like Trinidad had an opportunity to really change his life and set up his family, and that's where you don't think twice about it, But on the basketball side of things, it's getting up there, and unfortunately, we still don't have many guardrails. The rules are still kind of changing, almost by the month, it seems, with what's allowed and what's not. And we would love to start. We're attempting to start raising a little bit of money that can kind of supplement some of those things, so that we have at least a little bit of a fund that can help out when some of those upper teams come for our kids. But on the women's basketball side of things, our kids are really committed to each other, and they're very loyal to each other. I'd like to say they're loyal to the program, but the program is the players, and they're loyal to each other. Because we've had several players that probably could have played Division I basketball after excelling here, but they've chosen not to put their name in the transfer portal because they enjoy their experience they're having at Ferris State. And if the money got so big that it can change your life, we wouldn't look at it any other way of saying congratulations, good luck. Much the way that some of the football guys have gone. But the money hasn't gotten that big, and I love that when they have an opportunity to earn, that's awesome. But it should be like we're doing right now, where I see our kids, Caden Blanchard on my team, on the Schuberg commercial, and doing different those. That's what NIL was for, was so the kids just had an opportunity that they could go advertise a local business and use their name or sign an autograph or run a camp and be able to be compensated. That's the whole point of things. And hopefully, as this governance gets a little more in line over the next couple of years, it'll really get back to where, okay, you're playing for the purity of college sports, and your players still can earn some money, but it's not just pay for play the way it's turned into.
Right.
Go ahead, Brian.
Well, the kids got to be able to support themselves sometimes. You look back 20, 30 years ago, and they're playing the college sports, so they got class, they got sports, and then a lot of times maybe they don't come from a really well-to-do family or otherwise, and so they struggled. And I think that's kind of where that NIL kind of came in, and then it just kind of turned into a monster.
Yeah, the NCAA had been they were so restrictive for so long on a lot of those areas to try to preserve amateurism, and then people started suing them. And every time they sued them, the NCAA lost.
The O'Bannons.
So that's the main reason why you're seeing so much change, is everything was getting challenged in the court system, and the NCAA kept losing a lot of these battles, which was forcing this change, and that forced the change to happen rapidly. And it happened so rapidly that they can't catch up, and now they're almost swinging, the pendulum's almost going too far the other way, where they're afraid to monitor and enforce some of these rules because they're going to get sued again. I mean, that house settlement case, I mean, we're talking billions and billions of dollars that they were on the hook for, and it's just it's a crazy time for everyone right now. I think we're all looking forward to, and I wish I'd say it's this next year that's going to settle down, but like we're probably still 3, 4, 5 years of some of this chaos before we really settle into what college sports will look like for the next 20 years.
Wow. Rankings. We're going to go to rankings right now. How many's in the GLIAC? 8?
So we have, no, there's up to 11 teams. 11 teams for basketball. So football, there's a few programs that don't have football programs, which we would love it if all our sports had football programs. Tony would love it for scheduling. But we got 11 teams in our league.
Okay, so rankings out of the 11th, where are you guys at this year?
So the preseason poll just came out. We were picked 3rd. So Grand Valley was 1, Northern was 2, we were 3. The national top 25 poll just came out, and Grand Valley is ranked number 1. They won the national championship last year, and they're a very strong program. And then we're in the receiving votes category. So we're just outside of the top 25 nationally for our program right now.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yep, I think it's a little bit of preseason poll. Preseason poll, it's like it's your reputation.
That was my next.
It's your reputation. It's like, how did you done in the past? Because no one really knows. Looking forward.
But Grand Valley has a lot coming back.
They got a lot coming back. We got a lot coming back. Northern has a lot coming back, and that's why kind of we're the top 3 in the preseason. But they could shake out any number of different ways. We had 4 teams in our conference last year make the NCAA tournament, which is an excellent number of teams, and I think that's probably the most almost of any conference in the country to have. You only get 8 in your region. That's amongst 3 different conferences, and we had half the slots. So GLIAC did very well last year.
So if you were to tell these young girls in the community here what game to come to, I know you're going to say, well, every game, of course, but what would be your biggest game of the year here? I know every game's big, so your AD, if he's listening, I'm not putting you on the spot saying, why did you say that? Every game's big. I know that.
Oh, that's fine.
But what one's going to be the most enjoyable? I guess Grand Valley will be the
rivalry game always stands out, and it's okay to say that. Like it's all right to say. It's great to be at a place that has a rivalry the way that we have a rivalry. And every game counts for equal, but we know some just mean a little more.
Well, it's like Coyotes when they play the Cardinals. People that move into the community for 10 years, they don't realize the history that we have between Coyotes and the Cardinals. A lot of people don't realize that with the Lakers and the Bulldogs, But your girls, do they feel that pressure when they play a top team like that? Or how do you keep them loose? I mean, like, good Lord, they're number 1 in the country. That's hundreds of basketball teams, and they're the best. Do they get tight, or is there a head game you play with them and you try to say, no, just relax and play?
I'm not smart enough to play head games.
Okay.
Like, I'm not smart to play head games with them. We just really tell them the truth of what it takes to win those games.
Okay.
Like, you have to get them focused on like what's happening between the lines. And I think if you do a good job of focusing on what needs to happen between the lines, they see success when they go out there focused on those things, and then you can repeat those actions. Like there was 2 years ago. So last year we had a really good year. But 2 years ago, the year that we made the Final Four, we played the number 1 team in the country 3 separate times. We went to Ashland, like in December, Grand Valley when they came here, and when we played Ashland again in the NCAA tournament, and we won all 3 of those games. Like, we beat the number 1 team in the country 3 separate times in the same year.
Wow.
So, and there's still a lot of players on this team that were on those teams. So they believe they can do it. It's not like they don't have the belief. It's just got to be focused on, okay, what are we trying to control here? And if you know what it takes to win those games, you're focused on what it takes. You're focused on like every play. You're not focused on an outcome. Like, you can never be focused on the outcome, because if you're just focused on what it's going to feel like to win or lose, then you're distracted from what it takes to actually win or lose the game. You really have to just focus them in on like possession by possession. Are we taking care of what we said we're going to take care of? And when you don't and you get done, you just point right to that and be like, girls, it's not because you were mentally checked. I don't care why, No one wants to hear your excuses of why. But this is the reason we lost, is you didn't execute X, Y, and Z. The focus wasn't there on X, Y, and Z, and it doesn't matter why. All that matters is that you didn't do it.
You really excited Big Rapids in the area and a lot of parents outside the area. A couple years ago when you went down to the Final 8 and Final Four, and that was in Indianapolis, was there?
So we were down in St. Joe, Missouri. Like that was down. It was down further south. Like the boys made it the same year to the Elite in Evansville, so we all had to travel down.
I know, it was
a little
cool.
ways. Like
we were all watching it.
I remember Sandy and Rob being back and forth.
Oh yeah.
They got. I think they did some overnight. They did some overnight driving. I think to cover both sports, and that's why Rob and Sandy are the best. And our administrators, they were going back and forth as well, trying to support both teams. So we won, and then they went and supported the guys, and unfortunately they lost, and then they came right back, and we played a great game in that Final Four game, and unfortunately fell just a little bit short of having a chance to play for the national championship. So we know it's within our reach. We know it's something that we have the talent to be able to compete in those games, and so that Grand Valley game would be a great one for people to come out and see what the best in Division II looks like. You know, because our quality of basketball is right there with anybody in Division I. But then we have a lot of other home games that are great opportunities to see us play. Our very first one is coming up on Sunday afternoon. It's a 2:00 game on November 16th. So that's just what was that, like 3 weeks away from now?
Yeah.
So 3 weeks away we play Drury. They're a school out of Missouri that's always a national power. So they're flying up here to play us on that Sunday afternoon at 2:00 on November 16th. So that's your first opportunity to watch us play. I think our football team has their last regular season game the day before. I think they're at Davenport. Well, they finished the regular season, and then basketball season gets going in earnest, on that date in Wink Arena. So that's a Sunday afternoon. I don't know what time the Lions play. Hopefully they're a night game or something.
They used to always have posters on the schedule.
So we'll see.
Games. Do they have them anymore?
I'm not sure if those were printed and gotten out there or not.
Well, I haven't seen one in a couple years.
Here's me doing the best job that I can, letting you guys know right now. You spread that word. Get on that Facebook
November
page.
16th, 2:00.
November 16th
have
at 2.
you seen a poster on football or anything?
No, but
lately they haven't been doing it, I don't think. I've never seen one.
No,
in the last couple of years.
There's something hanging up at the Eagles.
Okay,
yeah,
is there?
So, yeah.
Yeah. We used to always have one in the station, but
WBZX Big Rapids.
But anyway, it is 10 o'clock, top of the hour. We got to go. But anyway, you've got some excitement going. Do you ever get down?
Oh, of course.
You do. You don't act like he doesn't look like the type of guy gets down. He looks like he's on Pepsi Cola, doesn't he?
Well, I'm here with you guys right now, so there's nothing to be down about.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, there's ebbs and flows to the season. You get up and down.
You
it's
ever second guess yourself?
It's life.
It's a competitive game, and I'm a competitor. I want to win.
I know you are.
And when you want to win, even sometimes you win and you wish that you played better.
Your mind's going
a
mile a minute. And I just wonder, strategy-wise, you're pretty ahead of the game when you're looking at the game saying, hey, I got to get her in there, or do you have a lot of help with that?
We do have a lot of help with that. That doesn't happen it's not fly by the seat of your pants. We're making decisions as a coaching staff that we've talked about. We know our options. We know our second options.
Yeah. We
know what we are likely to see out of our opponent. We know what their adjustments could likely be, and then we want to be staying one step ahead because that's why we get paid a salary.
Do you do
is to put in those
engagements?
Occasionally, I'm speaking to the Rotary Club here in town.
I mean, the little girls, like the middle school or St. Mary's or St. Peter's. Do you ever get the girls around town here that play basketball come up to fairs to camps?
Usually they're either coming to our camps in the summertime, or we invite these teams to contact us, me or my assistant coach, Mallory McCartney. And if teams want to come watch us play, we would love to get you tickets.
Right.
We'd love to get you tickets. And that's one thing. When we break our huddle at half court, when the game is done, I think I talk to the team in the locker room after a game maybe 2 or 3 times a year. Mm-hmm. When we break that huddle at half court, our job is to go into the stands. We want to go see our family, but if we know that we have teams that have come to watch us play, it's our job and our duty to go speak to those little girls after the game. Whether we've won or lost, it's important for us to be giving back. So anybody that's at our games, we're going to try to seek you out, especially if you're coming as a team during the wintertime. We want you to get to know our young women so that you can keep coming back to the games and be like, oh, that's Elle, oh, that's Maya, oh, that's Mia. Oh, she came and talked to me before. I'm going to cheer even louder for her. So we want to be involved. We want to be as involved as we can. And at our games is a great time to do that.
Those chairs across from your bench, I always see fair students or whoever sitting in those. Are those designated chairs are first come, first serve.
You're asking me questions that are above my pay grade.
Well, that's good. I like that.
I'm trying to figure out how to win the game.
Well, I just wonder, it would be kind of cool to see the little girls sitting in those chairs.
That'd be kind of neat. I'm not sure exactly how we do our ticketing there. We can look into that for you. Try to find someone.
Well, I know
when those seats don't go sold, we'll try to fill those with some people that are going to really enjoy the experience.
Yeah, that's good. Before we leave, though, I just want to touch on the AD a little bit, Steve. There, he's done a phenomenal job getting funding for you guys and all the sports up there, and my hat's off to him. I don't know him that well, but I always look at people that are successful, and to be successful, you have to have people work for you that are successful. He's built quite a program in all aspects up there at Ferris in the athletic department. That's pretty unique in itself. Perk Weisenberger and I were very good friends. He did a great job getting a lot of people up there, but Steve's continued that success. Did he hire you then? Or
I'm forever grateful to Perk, because Perk was the one who hired me in 2020, and I was here as an assistant 2010 through 2012. When Perk arrived, I was here and then kind of vacated for a little while and then came back, and he was the one that hired me. And when Steve came in, administration level is so important for us as coaches to have everything aligned. And I think Perk took us about as far as he could, during that time, because, he had different leadership above him that we would get support in some areas, but then not some support in the others, and then Steve came in, it was kind of the same thing. We knew we were moving that right direction. And when we had better leadership at the very top that aligned a little more with athletics, we really enjoyed Dr. Eisler. I think we were definitely moving in that right direction, and it just kind of got kicked into even a higher gear, if you will, when Dr. Pink came in. So very grateful to Dr. Eisler for what they had kind of laid that groundwork for everything to get going. And then I feel like Steve and Bill have really just kind of taken it up another notch to where us as coaches, we feel like we have what we need to be successful, and like we feel like we have the support that we need to be successful. And that's where you want to be as a coach. You want to be at a spot where that you're valued, that you're important to the university. You're not the most important part of the university, but we're a very valued part of the university, and we feel that here.
You guys are more important than anything up there at athletics. I mean, if you looked at the football game last week, I went to that and sat on the north side there, and honest to God, I've been here my whole life, and I've never seen a crowd like that fulfill that stadium.
That was amazing, wasn't it?
Over 10,000 people. I mean, come on, if that doesn't tell you. And I was talking to Jim Crank from Cranker's Restaurant. He had a phenomenal weekend. Friday and Saturday, he had record breakers there serving food. Not only him, but everybody in town. Zot's bar was packed. So when people tell me that, that isn't that important to win or lose or whatever you do, the hell it ain't. When you win, it's going to bring the people out of the woodwork like myself. And somebody said, were you there? I said, how would you know I wasn't?
Right. Good.
Because actually, to be honest with you, I don't tailgate, and I probably should, but I like to watch the game, and I know here on the radio, you guys all think all I like to do is talk. Actually, when I go to events like that, like your basketball,
I see you up there.
I like to sit by myself just so I can watch the game, and I like to talk other than at a game. At a football game, I've seen a couple people there that tried to talk to me, and I told them, I said, I don't want to be rude, but I really don't want to be rude. But I really want to watch this game. And so, like, when I go to basketball, I really do enjoy going up there. And you got a great fan base. You're getting even better now. That, when you win, it brings people to town.
They do.
Fills our room. So, folks, if you're not doing nothing, I suggest you get out to the women's basketball program. It's just, it's top the elite of the country right now. And, Kurt, you're doing a great job for us. I love your enthusiasm. We're going to have you back on again.
I enjoy
it. Easy to interview. I'm going to leave everybody with this. Go to any sport, Ferris or high school. We have the best people leading our young people today than we've ever had. And we've had some great coaching in Big Rapids, from Tom Ludwig to Mr. Karras, Nick Koso. We've had some great people. But right now, our program's at the lead in the country.
It's a blessing to have a community where we can come together around sports. It's one of the best things to bring together a small town is like, I'll see you at the game. And everyone knows what you're talking about when you just see each other in the grocery store. Are you going to the game? Yep, I'll see you there.
Well,
it's an awesome part about being in Big Rapids.
Yeah, it is. And we got a big crucial game coming up, Ludington, Friday night, with the Cardinals going over there, hosted by Ludington. So if you're not doing nothing Friday night, go over and show support to Mike Seltzer and company. Scott Schenkel up in Reed City, a phenomenal coach, phenomenal assistant coaches, but more importantly, phenomenal players. They're playing, who are they playing, Standish?
They have Sanford Meridian this
Thank you.
Friday.
Yeah.
They had Standish last Friday.
Yeah, at Reed City. Have you ever been up there, Kurt, Reed City?
I've been up there a couple times, actually. Yeah.
God,
more to the gym than the football field,
Right.
though.
But their fan base up there.
It's great. It's
Their
great when I can get
fan
out to
base.
these games.
Everybody in Reed City will be at Reed City Coyote. So if you ever wanted to rob a place Friday night in Reed City.
In Reed City, not Big Rapids.
No, not big, but you better do it because your chance, everybody's going to be at the football field. Nobody will be in the stores. The police will probably even be at the football game. So I'm not an advocacy of breaking in someplace, but I'm just saying.
Right.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, but you always get caught.
Defer to the expert on this one.
Huh?
Defer to the expert
Yes,
over here,
thank
Sheriff.
you.
I know what. Brian, you got any more coaches questions?
No, I enjoyed it. This is, anytime we kind of go over, and it's always a good thing.
Yeah, life's short, and I really enjoyed the moments in my life that I've had. And if I leave tomorrow, I always tell my wife I've had a great ride and wonderful people in it. And Kurt, you're one of them. I really appreciate you
thank
coming
you so
in this
much.
morning. God's been good to all of us, hasn't he, Bob? Huh?
Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you. We'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. God bless America, Bob.